Hey family, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. Uh, we got part three tonight. I'm show you. I got a mean. I got it's lobster, chicken, shrimp with cheese, tomatoes. That's my dinner for the day. It's the only thing I ate all day. I've been juicing. Um, but yeah, I want y'all to get settled in. I gotta roll me one up and get ready. We got a good one as always. Anybody who wants to come in, feel free. This is why we need to heal. So, if you have a story that you want to talk about, come on. I don't bite. Come on in. Water's warm. Sharks are gone. Uh, yeah, this is a beautiful thing, y'all. I really thank God for giving me this. Because every day that I do it, I learn more about myself. I learn how to cope with life better. I learn how to see things in a different light so that I could show others. It's nothing like being able to help others and not wanting nothing for it. Just doing it. Of course, it's in your heart, to be a kind person. And this is why it's called through adversity comes change. We have to go through our adversities in order for us to make the changes we need to make in our lives. We love to live our lives backwards, but we must live forward. And we have to use our head for more than a hat rack. We have to be able to see the forest for the trees. Oh, and a lot of times it's only our own selfishness that keeps us stuck. I gotta put the headphones on a minute. I was just trying to roll up. I know you may not hear me that good, but I'm coming. I had to reheat my sandwich. I had two of them. I had one last night, and I got one for the day. You know, get ready. hmm How y'all doing? Before we start, the name of the platform is TACC. Through Adversity Come Change. It's a platform, it's a movement, it's a book. You can get it on Amazon, and it's a Kindle as well. Um, the beautiful thing is, it's about us helping each other so that we can heal, live life better, do the right thing by each other. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is we have to understand that it's only until we come together and start living our lives righteously with each other that life will be better. Nobody can do it alone. Nobody can do it alone. Give me 1 second. I had to charge my phone too. All right, here we go. Everyday scenario. The corner store owner works 16 hours. He's behind bulletproof glass. He knows everyone's name. He watches kids grow up. Let me put these on. I'm sorry, y'all. He knows everyone's name. He watches kids grow up, go to jail, or die. No one ever asks him, how's he doing? When was the last time someone asked about your dreams, not just what you're selling? And see, that's community. That's us looking after each other, helping each other. you know, to see, read the temperature, how's things going, and this is the things that we must do for and with each other. It's only through our adversity that change takes place. And the only way we're going to do that is you have to have an unselfish mind and an unselfish heart and want for your brother and sister what you want for yourself. And this is one of the reasons why I always do good, because I always try to make sure not only am I all right, everybody around me, and I don't regret it. The grandmother raising her grandkids. The parents are locked up, gone, or strung out. She's a fixed income. She's tired, but she shows up every day. That's what they call unconditional love, and responsibility. She knows she has to step in because mother and father's not there, and that's her lineage. You know, it's about us all helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love, helping us heal. And like I said, once we heal, then we have to learn the lies from the truth in order for us to start a process of coming together to do the right thing and making a way for ourselves. A lot of times we get caught up in our own selfishness, but that's one thing. I've never been selfish. And it's sad because it's enough everything on this earth for everybody. We can all do good, you know. It is what it is. The kid who dodges bullets on their way to school. He's 12. He's seen 3 funerals this year. He's supposed to do math homework. How do you focus on your future when you're not sure you'll make it home today? And these are things that we have to understand, the everyday things that we go through. So it makes it even harder for us to heal, because we have so many different things that are going on in our lives. Where we from? Well, like I said, if we come together, we can heal. Just look at back in say the 40s, 50s. We had a community, before they start burning our communities down. We had communities that we took care of ourselves. We took care of each other. Everybody knew everybody, and kids respected their elders. And if they got out of line, that any elder could take care of them. We've got away from that. Our kids don't even know about heaven and hell. They don't even know if there's a God or not. So it's hard. And then they've been through so much. Like I said, I feel responsible, man, because I was one of the major crack dealers in New York in the 80s. And people didn't even know that I was getting it like that. And it's not to glorify it. No, this is why I do what I do now, because I regret hurting my people, but mostly hurting myself, because I was a user of everything that I sold. And even though I was rich, it didn't make me no different than anybody else. And one thing I never did, but one time, and like I told you, I looked down on dudes that was getting high for heroin. And God afflicted me with that to show me you never look down on no one about nothing, because you can be in that same position. And this is why it's about helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. And one of these guys right now is a preacher, So this is how life turns full circle. And you've seen him on my platform, on my program, Pastor Paul. The baby mama waiting on child support. He's late again. She's juggling work, daycare, and her own broken heart. When then I love my kids stop meaning I'll provide for them? See, we have so many things that are broken, and this is why I'm giving you these examples. Hold on 1 second.
Hello.
Hello, this is Accessorize. To hear this message in English, press 1. But we're calling for customer number 1462796 regarding pickup times for Thursday, June 4th. Your pickup times are 9.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are the things that stop us from healing. They have so many distractions for us, but we have to be stronger. We have to, and we dominate. Just think about this, right? Everything that we do, we dominate. We've taken the pain and suffering that was put upon us and made our own culture. And now everyone copies our culture that we invented from misery. And the sad part is everybody profits from it but us. And it's time for us to monetize us. And there's so many things that we have to do, and we worry about all the wrong things. You know, every other ethnic group, they don't mind sacrificing because they had it so hard. But we have had it so easy, and we don't respect sacrifice. We think we're supposed to have. No, and it's not that easy. Everything in this life you got to work for, or you got to do something for, you know. And what people fail to realize is that you can't straddle the fence, good and bad, and expect God to give you blessings. And the brother Wallow from Gillian Wallow, Million Dollar Worth of Game, said it best. You can't cheat blessings. God give you blessings when you live right and do the right thing. And this is why I live the way I live. This is why I try to help people to heal. This is why I try to help people change their mindset so that they can live a better and peaceful life. Like I said, after all I've been through, man, I still have all my faculties and I'm at peace after everything. And still I strive to do better every day. And this is what everyone must do. It's only through our adversity change takes place. Your choices shape your adversities. Your adversities are your lessons to get you to your blessings. And I know a lot of us would love to live our lives backwards, but we must live it forward so we can understand life, get our lessons and our blessings. Because if God gave it to us at once, we would destroy ourselves. I know I would, you know, and I only can speak for me and the people that I've seen in my days. And that's a lot of people. The man who just got out of lockup, he's been gone 5 years. The world changed. His kids don't know him. No one will hire him. How do you rebuild when your system is built for you to fail? I'm gonna give you a perfect example. After all the time I've done, this last one I think I did 11, 10 or 11, then a violation. My kids don't know me. And it's not because I didn't try. There were powers and forces against me, and I'm gonna leave it like that. But these are the things that we go through. I would love to have a relationship with my kids, but it just ain't happening. And I respect that, and I move on with my life for the simple fact that, hey, if that's what you want, I'm good with that. I want what's best for you. And however it is what it is. You know, I can't get mad at how someone else feels because my days are limited. Now I'm 61. I'm not 16. So my days are limited. So I have to prepare my life for the grave. And I have to do what's right for me, no matter what no one else says, feels, and thinks. Only thing I can do is try to help you to heal, help you to accept, achieve, appreciate love. But you got to go through your adversities and make the changes you need to make in your life in order for you to do it. No one can do that for you. Everything is within, like I tell you, but you have to do it. No one can do it for you. The girl who got jumped for her sneakers. They took everything. She's embarrassed. She's scared. She's not telling her mom. What are you hiding because you're ashamed? It happened to you. And these things fit in each and every one of our lives because these are things that happen. And the beautiful thing about it is that we can make changes. We just have to want to make changes. We have to want to heal. We also want to accept what God has for us, you know, because whatever He puts you through, He's going to get you through. But whatever He puts you through is for a reason. It's not for the season. And whatever it is, He's trying to show you in one way, and He's trying to prepare you for what He has for you in the future if you pay attention. These are the things that we have to understand. Life is not going to be easy. You have to struggle. It's a lot of things that I want to say, but I don't because it'll be too controversial. And this is not that kind of platform. I don't like controversy. I don't like to argue. I don't like uh, going back and forth. It messes with my spirit, so I don't do it. And when I was younger, I would love, it would be like breathing, but it no longer fits in my life because I've healed. And see, when you heal, certain things you're going to do and certain things you're not going to do because you've grown up. Like they said, when you're a kid, you do things that kids do. But when you're an adult, you do things that an adult does. And I think I'm a little grown, you know. I'm 61 years young and I'm getting better, I'm getting better. The uncle who always drunk on the stoop. Everyone laughs at him. No one asks why he drinks. No one remembers he used to be the one who fixed everyone's car. When did you stop seeing the person and start seeing just the problem? And see, this is the thing, right? It's a lot of brothers out here, all they talk about is the problem, but they don't talk about the solutions. The solutions is for us to change our mindset, to heal, to learn the lies from the truth, to come together as one, embrace your journey. Understand that wherever you are in life, God put you there because He's driving a car and He makes no mistakes. And you must take the responsibility, understanding that maybe it's something you did that got you the way you at. So you must ask Him, what it is you're trying to show me. People don't take time to do that. You have to be able to reflect. But most importantly, you have to be real with yourself. And a lot of us are not. I remember when I was like that, but now it's like uh something that it just won't happen with me because I understand how important it is to be responsible, to do the right thing. And like I said, I got to be prepared for the grave. You can't be doing bad stuff and think God is going to accept you. You have to live right, but it comes from here. It has to be in your heart, because you can trick people. You can't trick God, you know. And like I said, I'm trying to give you guys something that'll help you heal so that, man, we can come together and do dynamic things, man. I understand we've been through so much, but if we come together, man, and heal, there's so much we can do, you know. And, I need you guys. I'm not afraid to say I can't do it by myself. I can't. I'm only one person, but I can keep giving the message until somebody grasps it. And that's all I want. If I save one life in a lifetime, may God grant me paradise. Because like I said, I've done a lot of wrong. Now it's time for me to do right. And right feels right. when wrong doesn't feel right no more. So I live my life a righteous way. And I try to help people every day to heal, to do right, to understand life, see life for what it really is, not for what we think it is. And this is why we get disappointed so many times because we have high expectations of people who really don't have high expectations of themselves. And they don't have love in their heart. It's about them. That's what narcissism is. So we have to change our ways, change your mindset, learn different ways to live, you know. And when you do that, man, like I said, life is so much better. I live a peaceful, beautiful life, man. And it's so beautiful that I'm able to give you guys the love that God gives me because it's more than I need, you know. And the beautiful thing about it, like I don't get lonely, but sometimes I miss companionship. But when you have peace, man, you understand that when God is building you and making you strong, you have to be by yourself because that gives you time to think, that gives you time to put things together when you're a thinker and when you're real with yourself, 100% real with yourself. And I know a lot of people are not going to want to join this platform because they're not ready to be real with themselves. And I get it. It took me almost 60 years, about 58 years to be exact, to get this understanding, you know. But the beautiful thing about it, like they say, some people get it early, some people get it late, some people never get it. I'm glad I got it late because now I understand, you know. It's like the Matrix. You take that blue pill, you see life for what it really is, and you see people for who they are, and you don't judge. You just understand that's where they at in their life. That don't mean that's where you at in your life, because it's only through our adversity we're going to make changes in our life. You have to go through it. You don't make change in happiness. You make change in chaos. That's just how life is. I didn't make the rules. I'm just facilitating the program, And when you get that understanding, you see life for what it is, and you see people for who they are. The teenager who's selling just to help her mom's pay rent. She's not a bad kid. She's a desperate kid, and she hates herself for it. How many of us are doing things we hate just to survive and judging ourselves for it? And this is why, like I say, I'm doing what I'm doing now because I realized that I was hurting our people. And I ain't talking about black people, I'm talking about all people because everybody bought it. And like I said, she's only doing it trying to help, make rent. And the sad part about it is that she has to do that in order to survive because the conditions that we've been put in dictates how we have to live because there's nothing else. I seen something one day, and it was talking about the Reconstruction and how when America went bankrupt in what 1918 or something like that, and they were wondering why the black communities were still striving, is because we had skills, and then right away they went into schools and took all the skills out, so this way we couldn't be prosper. There's so much going against us, and you can look this up and find out for yourself. I'm not saying something that I don't know or haven't researched. I'm saying stuff that'll make you think, make you research. Go out there and see if I'm lying. And I don't have time to sit here and lie. My time is too precious. Like I said, I got to be prepared for the grave. I can use my time doing that, but instead I use my time trying to help y'all to heal because that's my job. You know, I can't be a good person until I love for my brother and sister what I love for myself. That's just how it is. That was just like me being able to forgive the people who did what they did to me last year. It's in here. You got to have that connection with the Most High to be able to do stuff like that and still have your faculties and still thrive to do better. I know I'm chosen and it's going to work just in time and it's in His time. And I don't, I'm not complaining. This is a funny one here. The boy who got shot last week, still alive, still in the hospital. His friends already posted RIP. He's not dead, but no one comes to visit. Who are you counting out that's still breathing and still needs you? And it's funny, right? 'Cause I relate that to me. Just last year, and only the people that really had love for me came more than once. I had people to come just to see if I was still alive that didn't care and never came back, never called, nothing. But the people who continue to come, them the people had love for me. And after when I got out the hospital too, had a sister come take great care of me. You know, she's just crazy as hell. And I don't like to argue, but she's a great sister. You know, and I'm always indebted with her for that. With my family, nobody checked on me. She came and hung out, stayed with me, cooked for me, everything, clean up, wash, everything. As a friend, as a sister, not nothing other than that. That's unconditional love. The woman who lost her apartment in a fire, no insurance, no saving, just a trash bag of clothes. The Red Cross gave her a voucher. Now what? When everything's gone, who shows up and who's just a text with no follow through? And I'm giving you examples of why we need to heal, why we need to come together and help each other. Because these are everyday things that we go through and we pay no attention, to these things because it's not affecting us. But only when it affects us do we want everybody to come to our aid. Like they said, a hit dog holler the most. But why can't we be that way for everybody to make it a better world for each and every one of us? It's only take one step and just to keep going. Get knocked down 10 times, get up 11. That's it. The dad who works two jobs and never sees his kids. He pays bills. He's tired. He misses another birthday. His son calls them the ATM. Are you providing for them or just providing money while they grow up without you? I can relate to that because I was in jail, you know, and I made sure my family was straight when I left. But I was just ATM, until it was gone. You know, one thing about life, right? When people have love for you, good, bad, and indifferent, they're gonna be there. But when it's only when you good and when it's bad, they're gone. They're like leaves. Everybody's not meant to be in your life forever, and we must understand that. And these are one of the things that help you heal when you finally realize that, man, everybody's not going to be in my life forever. So I have to look at it for what it really is. You know, it was something that may have been a great thing, but it's over. Nothing lasts forever in this life. And this is what we have to understand. When the people you love become a memory, cherish that memory, remember that treasure, and think of the good times. It is what it is. Things happen and we move on in life, but we keep growing and we keep learning and we keep striving to do better and we always help others. That's where we get our blessings from, not being selfish. The girls whose beauty, the girl who's beautiful but thinks she's ugly. Instagram filters, fake followers. She's chasing likes like their oxygen. No one told her she's enough already. When do you stop believing you were beautiful without a filter? And there's so many young girls right now that's going through this that can probably relate to these things. This is why I give different scenarios with everyday things that people go through so that you can understand. Like, I understand, and I'm here for you to help you if you want help. And it's not about me, it's about you. It's about being honest with you so that you can heal, so you can be better, so you can be the person that God put you on this earth to be. Because, like I tell you, one out of billions of sperm cells that made it, so you have a purpose. Because if you wasn't shit out, spit out, or swallowed, you here for a reason. You were chosen, and you have your own destiny. You just have to figure it out, and through through this program, this platform, this movement, I will help you get there if you want it. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. All I want to do is help you to win. The janitor the junior banker who hasn't slept in 3 days. He's making six figures. He's also crying in the bathroom stall. He can't quit. His parents tell everyone he's a success. How much is your salary worth if you want to die every Sunday night? It's people going through these things, to please others. You know, they're not good. And see, this is the thing in life that you must understand. And this is the thing that helped me to heal. Like I tell you, I had low self esteem of myself. I wanted to be wanted by people who didn't care about me, be around people who didn't really want me around, and do things for people who really, were using me. But now that I've overcome these obstacles, I no longer have low self esteem. I no longer worry about what somebody else says, feels, and thinks. And I use this scenario of if I have $3.50 and what somebody else says, feels, and think, which one of them will get me on the train or the bus? So this is the scenario I use. And just like that example, he's working to please others. You got to please you. I did the pleasing everybody else, and what it got me is a loss of everything because I had enough money years ago where I could have quit and lived good by myself. But it wasn't about just me. It was about me doing for my family. And I don't regret it. Even though my daughter said I'm a deadbeat dad. And she grew up with a doorman, swimming pool, gym maid, you know. But I guess if that's a deadbeat dad, then I'm a deadbeat dad, But these are the things in life that we go through, and we have to understand that no matter what, with nobody in this world says, feels, and think, you have to do for you. Self preservation is the first rule of nature, and the only way you can heal is if you have to. Only way you can help others to heal is you have to heal yourself first. And like I said, once I was able to forgive others, but most importantly, forgive me, this is when I was able to heal. This is when I was able to acquire my peace. This is when I was able to help others. But until then, you have to get you right first. You know, it's just like even being in the street. You always looking out for this one, this one, this one. You never can make it over the hump, or you playing numbers, or you doing something. And if you just save that money or just looked out for yourself, in a year or two from now, you'll be in a good position. Then you can help others. But you got to help you first. The only way you can do that is you have to heal first. Learn the lies from the truth. Then you can help everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. But you have to get it first. And the only way you're going to get it is be real with you. No one else. The assistant who gets yelled at for someone else's mistakes. Her boss screamed at her in front of everyone. She smiled, says, I'll fix it, went home and didn't eat dinner. How many times have you swallowed your dignity to keep a paycheck? And see, this is the thing I tell you guys, right? In those 6 years that God gave me the 30 apps devices business concept, He gave me a 30-year plan that if we come together, heal first, learn the lies from the truth, and be on the same page in 30 years, we will never have to worry about someone making us feel less than we are over a job. We'll have our own. We'll be helping each other. So none of us will ever be without. We will no longer be second class, nothing. And we'll start to learn to love each other again. Imagine how much energy will vibrate on the earth once we start loving each other. Because I tell you, I vibrate on a different level. Once you start vibrating on a different level where the devil can't vibrate, man, the energy that will be in this universe will be unsurmountable because that energy is God, and God is love, and love is God, strongest force in the universe. Make you the happiest and make you the saddest. But when you got it, man, it's a beautiful thing. The partner who cheats on his wife with the intern. He has a corner office, the penthouse, the yacht. He's also empty. He's been empty for 20 years. You can win at everything that doesn't matter and still lose yourself completely. And this is the thing that we go through, especially out in them streets. We lose ourselves. You know, we think the money is everything, but when you behind them walls, you realize the money was nothing. Or you're in them streets and you know everybody's after you for what you got. You can't trust nobody. It's no real love. It's all fake. These are things that happen in life. The woman who got laid off after 15 years, they walked her out with a box, security watch. Her whole identity was that job. Now she's nobody. What happened when the title disappears and you have to remember who you actually are? And this could be two different scenarios. She could have been a good person and it happened to her, and she could have been a piece of trash and it happened to her. But the thing is, securing yourself in life so that no matter what no one else does, you're going to still thrive. And this is what we're missing. We depend too much on others, but it's only until you heal, you understand that you have to depend on you and put your trust in others who earn that trust. Because everybody don't earn that trust. The intern who's 200,000 in student debt, she makes $25 an hour. Her rent is 3,000. She can't breathe, but she smiles at every meeting. How do you build a future when you're drowning before you even start? These are the things that have been put in place to keep us where we are. And we can't identify with healing because we're so bogged down. But if you take 10, 20, 30 minutes a day just for yourself to help yourself heal, find uh, something that you can reflect on that can help you to heal, to help you see life for what it is. Look at my video. Answer the questions that I've given you to help you to heal. It's out there. You can go YouTube. There's so many things out there that we can get help from. We just have to put our foot forward, and we have to stop being uh, comfortable with being uncomfortable, and learn to get uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, so we can be comfortable with being comfortable. If that makes sense to you, the guy who takes a 6 a.m. train and comes home at 10 p.m. He kisses kids goodnight while they're already asleep. On weekends, he's too tired to play. Are you building a life or just a resume with a broken family attached? And it was crazy, right? When I used to be a union sheet metal worker, when I used to work for Local 28, 10 Knockers Union, the guys I worked with lived all the way out in Long Island. They used to have to leave their house 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, to get to work by 7 o'clock in the morning. And then they don't get back home till about 8, 9 o'clock at night. We have to learn to uh, use our time wisely, and a lot of times that I've learned, all right, you have these kind of jobs, but instead of partying and all that, stack your bread, invest in different things. So when you get 10, 20 years in that job, you don't have to break your back no more because you got a business here, or a house, or two or three or four houses you renting out here, there. You got something going on. You got your kids doing this, doing something progressive and productive, that so that when you get older, you can be okay in life. There's so many different scenarios that I can go through, that we go through on a daily basis, that we just have to pay attention to. The admin who does all the work and gets none of the credit. The boss presents her ideas, gets promoted. She gets a $25 gift card. When was the last time someone saw your work and said your name out loud? And see, this is the thing, what I tell you. You have to be able to make your way. Because imagine this, right? You give your boss a multi-billion-dollar idea and it manifests. You get $25. You could have kept that idea and started your own business. Once you learn the business that you're working at, now you go out on your own. See, I come from a mother who owned a candy store, 3 bars, and taxi cabs. So I come from a line of hustlers. My father was a hustler. My brothers was a hustler. You know, I was a hustler. I owned a restaurant. I owned houses in Jersey, in Atlanta. So I come from a line of hustlers. So I've always been an entrepreneur one way or another. Sometimes you got to go out on a limb on your own. Once you learn the business, you know what it takes. Why would you give ideas that somebody else is going to benefit from, when you can, do minimum, do right, but keep the things that are going to make you wealthy for yourself and go out and do it for yourself. The man who had a heart attack at his desk at 48, they called 911. Then someone asked, who's covering his disabilities? Your job will post your position before your obituary. Who are you really living for? You see, just like that said, they worrying about if they're going to have to pay for his hospital. No one really cares. This is why we have to uh, come together and heal and do the right thing by each other. This is why they keep us divided. United we stand, divided we fall. Until we get that, we ain't going to get it. And it's only a few brothers, and a lot of them that's coming home from prison, that is conscious, and they trying to give you guys, but y'all look down on us. Oh, y'all jailbirds or this, that, and the other. But we no longer the same person that we was before, and you're gonna miss out on the wisdom that we have. for the simple fact that we're giving you life experiences, things we went through or things we seen that had a horrific outcome. So we can tell you firsthand so you don't go down that road. And this was is all about trying to help you so that you don't have to go down the road I went down. I 28 years of my life inside, you know, and even when you got family, it's still lonely at times. Thank God I was never lonely because I had a law and I read a lot and I studied a lot. So my mind was always occupied. I was creating, inventing. Like I said, I got 30 apps, device, and business concepts that I created. The tech worker who got laid off with 400 other people in a Zoom, meaning a Zoom call. One link. You've been impacted. No warning, no goodbye, just gone. When did where a family turn into you have 15 minutes to clear your desk? And this is what's going on now. This is what's going on right now. You know, and the sad part, as they continue to steal, we're gonna have to pay that back. Our grandkids, our great great grandkids, our great 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 grandkids. The price of living is gonna be up, and salaries is not. You know, and it's sad because people voted for their own demise, even though they did some stuff with the satellites. But still, y'all voted for your own demise, and now y'all feeling it. But it's not too late. It's only through our adversity change takes place. So sometimes we have to go through our adversities in order for us to see life for what it really is and see people for who they are. And then make the changes we need to make in our life to make our lives better. If that makes sense to you. Because I know a lot of y'all hurting. I see it every day on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You know, y'all regret y'all vote. Y'all let what was in your heart overrule the right thing. But now, like I said, sometimes we need to go through these things so we can see. So now y'all get it right. Like I said, we're gonna be all right as a country, inshallah, if it's his will. And if it's not, then we going to hell in a handbasket. And it'll be over for us anyway. So it is what it is. But we got time to change. We got time to do the right thing. Come together, heal, help everyone accept, achieve, appreciate, love, learn the lies from the truth, and put together the plan of all plans to become what we are destined to become. Period. The influencer with 500K followers and no real friends. He posts brunch. He posts sunsets. He cries alone in his Tesla. How many people you know? How many people know your name, and how many know your pain? We lay a lot of mass in this world, but when you heal and become of consciousness, you only wear one. This is the only face you're gonna see of mine. Now, maybe when I was younger, see it two or three, but not a lot. It was never malicious, But now you're only gonna see one because I live with my truth, and that's the only way I can live. You know, God made me a Muslim for a reason, and I'm gonna die that way, inshallah. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because I love my way of life. I love giving God His prayers. I love making my extra duas, supplication, dhikr, and all the other stuff I do, reading the Quran, because it brings me closer to my Creator. Have a relationship with the one who made me, who saw fit for me to be here out of the billion sperm cells that I made it out of all of them. So I'm here for a purpose. I'm here for a reason. And I finally find my purpose. after 61 years. And I'm gonna do it till you know, he sees fit for me not to do it no more. If I never get a follower or person to watch, I'm gonna do it because this is what helps me to heal even more. This what gives me even more peace, knowing that I left a message that could impact somebody's life, to make them change, make them to be better and do better in their lives. That's all. That's God gives me my blessings. I don't get blessings from man. Man will cross you every time, like I've been crossed by everything and everybody. But I still forgive and I still keep it pushing. Hold no grudges. Because, like I said, holding a grudge is like drinking poison. You're going to die, not them. They've shown you they don't care about you. So you must keep pushing. The guy living in his car in Silicon Valley, he works two jobs. He showers at the gym. He tells his mom everything's fine. What lie are you telling every day so people you love won't worry? Now, another scenario of things that happen every day in life. You know, like I tell you, God says, not an atom's weight of pride can enter the paradise. What goes along with pride? Jealousy, envy, hate, ego. What is ego? Ego is easing God out. These are the things that we do, and we're not conscious. We have to learn to see the signs and live our lives a little better than we did yesterday. My thing is, I'm better tomorrow than I am today. I'm better the day after that than I am tomorrow, and so forth and so on. My thing is just to strive to just do the right thing, to help when I can help, and stay out the way when I need to stay out the way. Because I understand sometimes we just need to stay out the way, and I get it. I didn't always get it. Sorry about that. It's prayer time, but I'm gonna finish this up first. You know, yeah, it's man. Like I say, I know y'all probably say this nigga's crazy. Talk about this peace and healed and all that. Trust me, man. If you ever get there, and the people who are at peace, they can tell you, man, it's a different feeling. It's a whole different vibration. I thank God every day, man, that I'm at peace. Every day, man. Because I ain't even supposed to be here. 9 shots, I ain't supposed to be here. So I'm here for a reason. And like I said, a book, a podcast, and others to come, inshallah. It's about helping us to get right, man. And even if y'all don't come, by the time I start becoming wealthy, people gonna come and they're gonna want a part. And it's gonna be all right. Because it's about helping us heal, helping us to grow, helping us do the right thing by each other. As one time we used to do that. We're not the village no more. We got to get back to the village. It takes a village to raise a child. We got to get back to that because we lost right now. The wildfire survivor who lost everything, his house, his neighborhood, his dog. He's in a shelter with 500 other people. When the smoke clears, who's standing next to you? These are scenarios that we go through every day, especially out in California. I'm just giving y'all things that let you know that I'm relating to you because I have empathy, not sympathy. I have empathy. I feel just like you feel, and like I said, I want us to heal, learn the lies from the truth, and get better so that we can come together and do some positive things to make this world a better place, to change this, what's going on right now. So we need it terribly. The teenager in LA who got jumped in a gang because he wanted to belong. He didn't want to hurt anyone. He just wanted brothers. Now he can't get out. What would you do? What have you done? Just feel like you belong somewhere, just to feel like you belong somewhere. And like I tell you, I used to want to be around people who didn't care about me, who used me because I had low self esteem. But I had to go through all of these things to get to where I'm at today. It's just like a lot of people go through heartache with a relationship. They don't want to love no more. I'll never let what somebody else done stop me from loving. That's on them. That's their loss, not mine. Because I always feel I'm the prize. I always feel like, even when I was at somewhat low self esteem, I always felt I was the prize because I always thrived. And I always wonder why all these so called great people were attracted to me, gravitated to me. And I realized I had something special. The mom who lost her son to gun violence, she puts flowers on the corner every month. She goes to court. He's never coming back. How do you keep breathing when your heart is buried in a cemetery? You know, I'm showing you I relate to each and every one of these different scenarios. And the only way we're going to get through these things is we have to come together and heal. You know, don't be afraid to take that first step because that first step is the beginning of a whole new life. I wish somebody could have told me these things when I was young. I would have probably never went to prison. You know, um, I probably have been a successful businessman doing something else. But the only reason why I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't love me the way I love me. I wouldn't love God the way I love God. And I wouldn't be compassionate about humanity the way I am today. I want each and every one of us to win, no matter what. Even the people who like me and don't like me. You know, I want you to win. And it's just that simple, no matter what. The kid on the south side who's brilliant but can't afford the ACT prep. He gets B's without trying. With help, he goes to MIT, but no one sees him. How many geniuses are dying on corners because nobody invested in them? And see, this is one of the things I'm telling you with this platform, this program, we can sort out these kind of kids and help them. You know what I mean? These kids are our future, whether you know it or not. But we need to heal, learn the lies from the truth in order for us to be able to help them. Because you need to be able to see. If you can't see, how can you help somebody? And when you're at peace, you see everything. You see life for what it is, people for who they are. Like I said, you don't judge. But you also able to see a person's potential and you can help them strive to reach that potential. This is what this is all about. Me reaching the youth and people who want to heal so we can make a better society for tomorrow. All I want to do is the right thing, man. I've lived a great life. If God was to take my soul tonight, I can say that I've lived a wonderful life, man. I've been to 7 countries numerous times. I've been a millionaire a couple times. Maybe not all in cash, but in cash and houses and jewelry and cars and this and that and the other, you know? So I know what it's like to have. And like I tell you, I used to spend $1,000 a day on scratch tickets. Now I live off $1,000 a month. I just got my money Monday. All my bills is paid. I don't owe no bills until next month. And I was still able to put a couple dollars in my pocket. This is the blessings when you do the right thing in life. And like I said, I'm just trying to help us to heal, man, because there's so much greatness out there, so much we can do. We keep worrying about the problem. Let's get to the solution. I have the solution, but it's going to take time. People are creatures of habit. They only gravitate to things that they're seeing that are successful. They don't gravitate to things that they don't see that are popping. It's just how we are. But once it starts to pop, they're going to be coming from all over. And I'm still going to accept you because this was just about helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. No matter how you come, I'm here for you to help you to win. The CTA bus driver who sees everything, fights, overdoses, kids going to school, old folks going to dialysis. No one says thank you. When did the last time? When did you last thank someone who makes your day possible without even knowing your name? See, these are the things. These are one of the things that the Prophet Muhammad SAW says that you get blessings for greeting someone. It's a blessing in that to put a smile on somebody's heart, put a smile on somebody's face. Like I told you the other day, I like not only putting a smile on a person's face, I like to put a smile on a person's heart. It's a whole different smile, whole different expression. You have to done it to be able to understand. And this is what it's about. We are great people, man, and we can do these things. You just got to realize who you are and what you are and what you can do and where you should be. Because anything the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, it's up to you. It's just that simple. The stepfather who's trying, but the kids won't accept him. He pays bills, he shows up. They call him by his first name, not dad, maybe never. How long do you keep showing up to people who won't let you in? And see, these are the things that we missing. The respect that we used to have when I was a kid. We have to start to learn to respect one another. Respect goes a long, long, long way. Trust and believe that. And the only way you're going to be a respectful person is you have to be conscious. You have to be a person who's healed and know that disrespect brings bad things. Disrespect is not from God. That's straight from the devil. God is love. Love is God. You know, that's like a person who's a part of the Ku Klux Klan said that he's a believer in God, but he's a Klansman. You can't believe in God if you spreading hate. God is not hate. God is love. So we have to be conscious, be able to understand and see these things for what they are. This is why I give you all kind of scenarios and examples so you can see that I understand. The woman who got evicted in winter, her landlord doubled the rent. She couldn't pay. Now she's on someone's couch. How many people are one paycheck from being in the exact same place and don't even know it, you know? And that's real, especially now today in these days and times with everything prices is to the moon. The retired person living in a trailer park. They came for the sun. Now they can't afford the insurance. Their pills cost more than their rent. What does golden years mean when you're still scared every month? You know? And this is what I'm saying. You know, 30-year plan, man. We'll never have to worry about money being called second class anything, and we'll be striving as one big family. I got a 30-year plan, you know. The server in Miami working double shifts. Her feet hurt. Tourists are rude. She's a college grad. This wasn't the plan. How many of us are doing jobs beneath our dreams just to stay afloat? It's crazy right now, you know. Just telling you, I can relate. I can empathize with you guys. This is why I want us to heal. And the only time it's going to happen is you have to change within you. You have to change your mindset. You have to want to make change. You have to sacrifice. You have to not be afraid of going through uncomfortability, knowing that there's something better for you on the other side. I don't make the rules. I'm just here to give you what he's put out there for us if we pay attention. The high school football star who tore his ACL senior year, his scholarship disappeared. So did his friend. So did his future. Now he works as at Waffle House. Who stays when the spotlight turns off? And who was only there for the highlights? Trees, leaves, branches, roots. Leaves come and go. Branches are a little sturdier, but the ones that stay at the end is the root. Most people are leaves and branches. But you have to learn that. You have to go through that. It's only through our adversity we understand these things. Here I come. And see, the beautiful thing about this program, this platform, I'm coming at you from a person who's been there and done that in all aspects of life. The things I've seen and done in my life, most people don't do in 2 lifetimes. This is why I say that I've had a wonderful life, even after going through 28 years of my life inside. I still had a great life. Can't complain. You know why? Because I have a connection with the Most High. And my mindset is about helping us to heal, period. It's not about me. I get mine every day that I come on here and give y'all something to think about, something to ponder, and hopefully one day it'll sink in. But if it don't, I did my job. Like I tell you, I don't look for y'all to get blessings. I look for God for my blessings. That's the only blessings I need at this age. The ones from God, His grace and His mercy. Like I said, I want us all to heal. I gave you examples. I gave you scenarios so that you understand that I understand. So now it's time for us to put our big boy boots on, shoes on, panties on, pants on, and start to heal. Do what we need to do to heal. I'm here. DM me. Let me know what you think, feel, if you feel anything. But just understand that I'm here for y'all. I ain't going nowhere. And it's only through our adversity change takes place. Y'all have a blessed night. Tack man out. Get your spirit right with God, and everything else will work its way out. Peace.